Hello, I'm Jo Kemenade. I'm talking to John Knorr, CEO and founder of the Uglii Corporation. Now, John, Uglii's never had any real online media exposure. So is this Uglii coming out?
Jo, yeah, I guess in a way. Look, we're a company that's 15 years old and we've never really needed exposure. So we've worked in our fairly small circle of shareholders. We've worked with governments around the world. We've worked with postal systems and banks and telcos and those sort of organisations. So we've had a fairly closed circle of organisations that we've dealt with. So we're now starting to roll the system out. So this is about us getting ready to roll the system out around the world. Yeah.
Well, for those that don't know, can you give us a brief description? What is Uglii?
Well, Uglii is a very powerful system for economic development. It's for about helping business do business better, market more efficiently, more accurately. The system is about getting governments to do things better for business in their economy. It's a whole host of specialised services and some fairly general services.
Right.
It's about discovery for all businesses, all legitimate businesses on the planet. We provide that for free as a free service to every business, every government department. So we're just ramping up and escalating the power of the internet to make things easier for all businesses to do business and for governments to do business as well.
Okay. I do understand that it has great tools for business. And what about economic growth?
Well, we claim that we can increase GDP in each economy by at least 1%. Now, we have relationships with about 70 governments at the moment, and none of them have really questioned that. They go away and do their sums, do their homework, a little bit of modelling, and they come back, and some come back with higher numbers than we're putting forward, basically because they know their economies better than we do. So they say, look, Uglii applied to our economy will do better than the 1%. Okay, so we've had estimates of up to 3% in some developing economies. So we think that we can do a lot for the global economy with negligible cost for governments. So we're not out there to take a lot of money from governments. We actually keep fairly clear of governments. We are proudly independent. So
right.
Yeah, we've never taken any money from governments or any subsidies or things like that. We stand a little bit aloof, but we're getting a little bit closer at the same time.
Okay.
So.
And governments are playing an increasingly more important role in Uglii, aren't they?
Yes, that's because they own postal systems or control postal systems, and we've decided that the best partners in the world for Uglii are postal systems.
Why is that?
Well, because they have relationships with every business in their economy and,
yes.
and every household and a lot of people in their economy. So they are relationship rich. We're ideas rich, and we're technology rich, and we're intellectual property rich, but we're relationship poor.
Right.
So we've got to do deals with organisations that are relationship rich.
Yep.
And as I'm saying, the postal systems are the best in the world, and then I suppose telcos are a fairly close second, and banks, of course. Every business has a relationship with a bank.
So are you walking a fine line given the fact that you're aligning yourself with government-owned postal systems yet still trying to remain independent from governments?
Well, we make that very clear to governments, and governments seem to respect that. You know, we're not there for them, that we have services that will help them grow their economies, will help them look better, do things smarter, be more efficient in how they handle a lot of information. But we're certainly staying aloof from them. We're not asking money of them other than if they want to buy some services. So they generally respect that very well. They understand that we're out there to do a general job of improving businesses and their economies, and yeah, so far so good. Nobody's tried to bully us at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're pretty pleased with the way things are going.
Okay.
But it's a very powerful system. Don't underestimate Uglii. And the other thing, of course, about Uglii is it's different. Some people like to make an analogy between search engines and Uglii, and we're so different. We're very different from search engines.
Right.
Our role is very much focused on business information and getting that in an order that works for business. So So we don't deal with abstract ideas such as politics at all. So we're never a threat to governments.
Sure.
We can live happily with every government.
Okay. And you have had quite a bit of success partnering with postal systems.
Yes, Joe. That's really good. It's exciting. We've always planned that. We've done a lot of work in talking to postal systems for years to get them used to the idea that Uglii is coming.
And that's gaining momentum
That's
now,
gaining momentum. In fact, we've even got postal systems helping other postal systems come and join the Uglii system. They're not doing that out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing that out of the fact that they know that businesses in their economy want to export and so on, so they need the rest of the global economy on board. So that's got that momentum, which is really quite exciting,
Sure.
which we never really expected. So it's getting easier as we go along.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier you do have a telco and a bank as well.
Yes, they've crept into the system. We haven't started marketing to the banks and the telcos yet, but a couple have managed to manoeuvre their way in already, which is a good indication that we'll get what we want in the system. So we're not relying 100% on the postal systems. They will be very good, and I think they'll be the best performers in most economies, but we can't rely on just one organisation in an economy. So we're spreading that a little bit so that other organisations can come in and compete to bring businesses into the system. Uglii is all about competition, so we've got competition in every service we provide to businesses in the economy is about competition. The other thing is that, of course, the way we roll the system out is about competition too.
So, John, you can offer this system because of the patents. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Joe. We've got a big portfolio of patents, and people can look at them on our website. Mm-hmm. And that gives us the capacity to be the only organisation on the planet that really can provide this big menu of services based on spatial processes. So
right.
We're in a very powerful position.
Okay, and if we can come back to governments, John, that spatial marketplace is ideal for procurement, isn't it, for governments?
It is, Joe, and the governments that we're dealing with are fairly excited about that process because procurement's an area of big problems for governments. It's either very expensive through tender processes or it's very corrupt or wasteful through lesser processes. And what the Uglii system is doing is making procurement processes more efficient, more competitive and less corrupt. So there's not a government on the planet, or none that we've come across, that says that their processes are better than our processes. So we're pretty confident we've got a winner there for governments, and it costs them nothing. So it will be a huge benefit to government, savings and procurement. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Right across the globe, we think. Which endears them to us, of course, because we can save them a lot of money.
Okay. So, John, Uglii's got 2,500 shareholders in around about 16 different countries. They must be getting pretty excited right now.
Well, we are, yes. This has been a long time. We've been developing this system, the Uglii system, for 15 years and slowly accumulating shareholders as we've gone through.
And building patents.
And building the patents and all of the things and the technology that we've had to do to introduce this big system. So, yeah, naturally we're all very excited about it. The motivation is not just about money. People are excited that they're part of a very, very big, powerful system that we think is going to change the way the world does business and make economies more efficient, business more efficient, more competitive. A much more exciting place for business, and I think the nicest thing for me is that the Uglii system helps businesses survive. Okay, I hate seeing businesses go out of business because they run out of money or they run out of capital. The Uglii system, because of its efficiency in marketing, means that any business that can compete, and that's a very powerful change for the world's businesses.
Okay, and it doesn't matter what size or how rich the business is? Or
This is about every business, no matter how humble it may be, how big it may be, we can help them grow and compete at a local level, at a national level or globally.
That's
This
amazing.
is a powerful system.
That's so exciting.
That is
Tell us about the rollout.
Well, we're starting to allow governments and businesses to come into the system and register in the system from the 1st of April. Okay, and that will be a fairly gradual process, and they can buy some of the services that are in the system as well. So, yeah, we think it's a very exciting thing, and we're still bringing in partners. Of course, we're nowhere near complete with the partnering program. So, organisations that feel that they can contribute to the Uglii system, the Uglii Coalition globally, more than welcome to contact
and make some very handsome commissions
and
along
make some
the
very
way.
the commissions are very handsome.
Yes.
There's a lot of money in this, of course, but yeah, it's an exciting program from an economic point of view as well.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much
Thanks,
for talking to
Jo.
us.
Thank you.